Good evening. Hi there. This is Dr. Rao. Today is the New Year's Eve, and we are all in celebratory mood today. But I promised this room to my friends, so I thought I will come here and talk about this. What was happening with New Year, especially, is I was greeting a lot of people, having so much of conversations about what are the things you would like us to do. That was the common question that came to me. So I was coming with the five simple things that everybody can have the have the they can start with them, right? Five simple things. Um, Getting up in the morning and be in awareness and really move all directions. That's like a dance line. And then a laughter yoga and also random kindness. These five things we are going to discuss today as part of it. So, this is going to be an hour long uh, meeting, and I will welcome people to come and talk to me. Any questions they have, that will be very good. So, Sujani, welcome. How are you? Hello, can you hear me? Hello, Sujani, can you hear me? I don't know. She's able to hear me or not. Well, anyway, let me go into my talk. Usually, I talk for a while before I can get people, but I'll welcome other people too. Uh, I think Maria is want to come up. So I'll welcome her and see what she to contribute. Maria, you can come up. I invited you. So, okay. All right, friends at Wisdom, you're welcome to come up too. Um, Let me introduce myself to begin with. I'm Dr. Rahul Yusuf. I'm an internal medicine doctor. I've been here for several decades in the United States. I've been uh, practicing internal medicine, but also I'm interested in ancient healing systems of yoga, Ayurveda, Vedanta, and all that. And I get some hacks from those systems to help us with the modern stresses, modern burnouts, and all that. Right. So that's something I value very much because I was helped by ancient yoga quite much. So I'm lucky that I was able to look into these systems and then borrowed wellness oriented habits. So those are the habits we are talking about. See, there is a phenomenal way of looking at the daytime, nighttime in yoga. They recommend that you get up at least 45 minutes before sunrise. That they call it a special auspicious time for the mind to be very quiet and you can learn a lot of things, right? So that's really true. I get up sometimes 3:30, 4 o'clock, after a good sleep, maybe at 11 to 3:30, 4 o'clock. And that's pretty good for me. And when I get up, I have full energy and I get a lot of things done before the sunrise, including my exercises, my breathing, my meditation, reading some spiritual stuff, or my career stuff, whatever that comes up. I'm able to do them because the focus is very, very good and the mind is clear. That's one thing I would recommend everybody to cultivate is try to get up early, go to bed early, especially in this time of information overload. All the time we are with the devices. That is kind of making people more kind of, so to say, neurotic. That means thoughts are under their own, and then they're going by themselves. To really have the control of that, sleep at night time, such a way that you're going to get up in the morning and with a full fledged mind, you can absorb a lot of things. That's what I was always advocating to people. If they want to do that as a habit, it's better to sleep early. That's one habit I was always around. There's more, so much more with Brahma Muhurtam, they call it. That is there. That Brahma Muhurtam is 45 minutes before sunrise, right? The second thing is, always be in awareness. Okay, don't be early in the morning and get up and thinking a lot. Just be in the present. Cultivate that. The first 1 hour after rising up. That is really important because if you allow the thought stream to continue, like you can easily do it, and you will be in thought stream all the way. Whereas if you are in awareness, you will be in the present, in that moment. That moment to moment awareness is very, very important for people to be non-reactive but more responding to things. So in our wellness club in the morning hour, what we do, that 1 hour is an exercise of awareness. Be here and now. Focus on whatever you are doing. In the class, we are doing asanas, we are doing breathing exercises, we are doing meditation, all that, right? Just be here and now. That's what we really advocate to people. So that's the second habit I want you to understand that I'm promoting, because once you are in the present, in awareness, then you are more away from your habitual thinking or compulsive thinking, for the past or the future, but in the present. Okay, that's one thing. And the third thing is, once you are moving, that's very good. If you cannot do exercise for a while, just to move, walk, or move all directions. We usually advise people to come and uh, really be in a mood where you are moving all directions, like a dance you are doing. That kind of thing is very good. Just to think about moving all the time. That's very simple. If you are driving, then park the car away from the building and take stairs instead of elevators, and move walk in the corridors. In the hospitals, we have big corridors. We walk all the time, right? And that is something moving the body, not making it sit down in one chair for a long time. That's a simple thing too. The fourth thing is, cultivate laughter. There is a laughter yoga. People actually laugh during the morning time and then deliberately laugh together, which is very good. You can do that laughter in your bathroom. Go and face yourself and laugh at yourself a few times. That's a very good exercise too. And you can cultivate laugh it off things, like taking it easy, that kind of thing, right? So there is a special laughter yoga. You can look it up and then do with the people who are doing that. And the fifth one I talk about is, show some random act of kindness to whoever it is, your family members or your colleagues or anybody who in the strangers on the road, people who need help, elderly people or people with handicapped and all those, right? You can give a hand to them, you can give a glass of water, or you could give a couple of bucks, like that. That's a very, very important thing, I think. So you have to cultivate that random act of kindness. Okay. So these five simple things I'm talking about New Year's Eve is because these are something very easily doable, but at the same time they address major things about awareness, about activity of the body, about suspending the thought pattern in the form of laughter, and also showing the emotional intelligence by addressing kindness related activities to other people. So there are so many things involved in this. Suppose you raise early and then you work all day and then you retire early, your body clock will set in motion. you are more really diurnal clock, we call it. We have body as a rhythm, right? It gets up, works, and then sleeps and rests. In modern lifestyle, what we do is we kind of have night lives or late nights because of work. So many ways we kind of mess with that body clock without realizing that's a valuable balancing of our homeostasis. Once we understand this is important, we have to balance this, then we'll be able to pay more attention to that. What are the factors that take us away from the body clock? Because you have to know, first of all, are you a morning person or a evening person? Like, hi, Maria. Hello, Maria. Maria, can you hear me? I can't hear you. But okay, I don't know what was happening earlier. Also, so she could not hear me, but I was able to talk, and most likely my talk is working there. Maria, can you hear me? She came on stage. Okay, so these five qualities I'm talking about, just attempt them one at a time, and then continue that habit that you have cultivated. If you are doing it already, well and good. But if you are not doing it, continue at least for 14 days. Usually, we get our habits established by the time. So, deliberately put it on the calendar, jot it down, but go and do it every day for about 2 weeks. And at the end of it, it can become rub on you, and then you'll become that habit. It could be part of your armamentarium for the day. So that's something habit changing that I do with my students. When they come, they have certain habits established. So you got to unlearn those, you know, and then learn the new habits and then implement them, so that for a while it will be forced by you. And then as the body and mind gets used to it, then you will be able to do them automatically too. So if you start to raise in the morning, your body clock, if it is the morning person, it will be set. Suppose you are not a morning person, you're an evening person, then get up at a decent hour and then see what you can do with that. Okay. So those are the five things I wanted to talk about. I wanted to tell my friends to see whether they have any comments, or because this is recorded, a lot of people listen after that and then they communicate to me with so many DMs or back channel messages and all. That's okay too. I like to converse with some of them. And some of them get on the call with me, or come to my um, uh, the website, whichever way they want to communicate. So usually a few people call, and then we end up talking a little longer according to the individual opinions and concerns, or suggestions, whatever. Right. So uh, this New Year thing uh, is something that I think we should do every day as the New Year, because most of the time people have this motivation during the new year, and then a few weeks later they fall off because they don't understand how this body and the mind have their own way of developing habits after this losing habits too. So they give an analogy with a, how does an elephant, which is so powerful, is trained by the driver, Mahat, they call him Mahat, right? India, we saw those people. They control the animal very well. It listens to whichever way the driver wants it to go, and he sits up there, and then he kind of directs it, and it listens to it. Why? Because from childhood he trained it. See, he trained in such a way that it listened to him. So that was happening all the time. So uh, body is like that. it has its own intelligence, it has its own habit forming nature. So if you want to break those habits, then you got to retrain the body. So if you are used to sleeping very late and you want to get up early, you got to make it train like that, right? Even yoga is also like that. You got to untrain or unlearn the bad habits and then train the good habits, right? That is very very simple. Okay? But then people forget about that. They make a resolution with the intellectual understanding, and but then when you get up in the morning, the body says, "No, I'm not going to get up. I'm not used to this." Okay, so training is very very important. Do it for a while, then you will be able to do that. Okay. Um, so those are the things that I was intending to talk about. I don't want to go too much into a monologue on this, but this is a New Year Eve. I hope everybody has a good New Year Eve, and I'll be seeing you around the rooms, and I will be talking more in other rooms too. For now, just remember this part. Try to get up early and be in awareness in the morning and move all directions, especially dance form, walking form, aerobic, whatever you want to do. And then cultivate laughter. And fifth one is show some random act of kindness to whoever it is, which is good for you. And be grateful. That will be good for you. Okay. And actually, these are the things I was always talking to people about. Marching towards wellness oriented system starts with each individual person. Okay, if people realize that I can take care of my health, I can take charge of my health, and do some things in my lifestyles, I can really fix a lot of my own irregularities. That's the message, right? And then you can seek the system where things are not right. But if you are unconsciously doing some things to your body and mind, and you allow these damages to continue, and down the line, the chronic disease or real sickness and all that, we pay a price for that, right? So my thing is cultivate wellness ways, eat good, move the body, and sleep well, and empty your mind twice a day. That is minimum that is needed for the modern life, and don't succumb to the modern life's weaknesses of taking some drugs or alcohol or smoking, and not sleeping enough, and keeping up late all the time, overthinking, too much thinking, and brain fogs and all these things happen, and also not eating properly, not sitting down and eating, chewing, and all that. So these small things that you do in these four pillars of wellness, that will lead to wellness oriented system, wellness oriented society. And then hospitals and physicians like me, we should encourage my patients, even though they come for an infection, I may give an antibiotic, but taking time, asking them about these lifestyles and making changes. Many patients appreciated that. They may be able to do or not able to, but they by we persisting all the time, they listen to the message all the time, and they will be able to adjust and then change. Like I said, they have used the body for certain way, mind in a certain way. Those habits that we taught the body and mind will be difficult to get rid of overnight. So you got to be patient, you got to be persistent, make small changes but permanent changes. Suppose you are eating all the time. Don't eat. Eat only when you are hungry. If that single habit will help you a lot. Okay. So with that, this is going to be a brief talk today. If you have any questions, you can come up and ask me. Otherwise, I'll be closing in a few minutes. Okay. There are so many invitations to other rooms too as I'm talking to them. So everybody must be doing that New Year thing, which is very good. Okay. Uh, so I'll be talking to you again. see you next time, maybe tomorrow sometime. So we'll all work towards that wellness oriented health within our bodies, within our families, our society, and also health systems eventually. Okay, bye bye.